Hi guys, good morning everyone, and have a good day. What in today's session we are going to discuss about the SQL. So, if you know the SQL, you can understand the any programming language. I mean to say, in terms of the database perspective, SQL is like as your alphabets. Simple. SQL is like as your alphabet. Suppose you are dealing with the text data. For that also, you need to understand how data being stored in database, right? If you are using the image data, how data being stored in images for image data, right? If you are using the audio and video, how data being stored in database, right? So how to extract data from a database, right? You are using the LLMs. They use a vector database. How does the vector database works? How to extract the information from a vector database? Suppose you are using the some banking information. So every other cases we require the SQL language. Simple to say, easy to understand. If you want to tell one line story, a language which communicate with a database is called SQL. Suppose easy to understand. Let me explain. Easy to understand. Pradeep, suppose you have a huge volume of data. Let's say you are doing the phone pay transaction. You are doing a phone pay transaction, right? In every transaction, let's say Mr. Pradeep, 10 rupees spent for tea. Mr. Pradeep, on 25th morning 10 o'clock, he spent for 50 rupees for breakfast, right? Pradeep, morning 12 o'clock, he spent for another cup of juice or juice, 20 rupees. 2 o'clock, spent biryani for 150 rupees. 4 o'clock, snacks, he spent for another 100 rupees. Evening 6 o'clock, spend another 50 rupees, let's say 20 rupees for tea. 9 o'clock, he spent another 100 rupees or 150 rupees for dinner. So in entire day, he has done the 20 transaction or 25, let's say 15 transaction. I want to understand how much amount Pradeep being spent in a month. If does phone pay will give you immediately, or does bank will give you immediate detail? Maybe they can give consolidated report. They can give a consolidated report, right? But I want to understand how much amount being spent by the Pradeep, how much amount being spent by the uh, Arpita in a month. For that, to extract or to communicate with the database and get the required information, we need to have a knowledge of SQL. Maybe the probably the SQL would be different for structured data. The SQL would be different for uh, text data. The SQL is different for image data, or the SQL is different for audio and video. But the fundamental concept for everything is SQL. Okay, the fundamental concept is everything for SQL. Right. Let's understand the agenda for the let's understand in today's session majorly about what is SQL, what is the history of SQL, why SQL is so important, why everyone need to learn SQL, what are the different popular databases which we have, right? So because data being stored in database, what are the different popular database we have? Why MySQL? Why are we going to prefer only MySQL? Why not Oracle database? Why not other databases? Right? How do we install the MySQL DB in our system, local system? Maybe probably whatever the topics we cover, what are the points we'll cover in today, we'll cover. Otherwise, in next class, we will cover it. Okay? Any questions? How many of you are experts? How many of you are expert in SQL? How many of you are expert in SQL? No one? How many of you are expert in SQL? Please respond, Naveen, Mansi. Okay, no problem. Let me explain you. Who is this guy? Probably I would replace this with Sachin, no, Virat. Now Sachin became older. Now everyone talking about the Virat Kohli. Let me replace in the next for next team, next batch. We'll replace with the Virat Kohli. So now probably people now everyone talking about Sachin. Earlier people used to talk. I mean, earlier people used to talk about Sachin. Now everyone talking about the Virat. Am I right? Or Boomra. Something like right. Right. Everyone talking about the Boomra. Right. Of course, still people believe Though Virat, Rohit, Bumrah, and everyone is there, still people consider Sachin as the god of cricket. Now, on his screen, on the left side on his screen, you can see that he was born on April 24th, 1973. Approximately, I mean, when I extract the picture is 47, but it is more than 47, it is 52 years now. So his height is batsman, right hand batsman, right arm leg break. And data, I got it from the quick info. So these are the batting career. These are the when he has test debuted, when is the latest test, when he has a ODI date, and here you can see the batting career summary as well as you can see the bowling career summary. He has played the 200 test matches. Out on in each test match you have a two innings, right? Total he has played 329 innings. How many times he has been not out? 33 times he has not out. Right? How many runs he has made? 15,000 runs he has made. Highest score is 248. The average 53. Right? Similarly, in ODI 463 matches played. Out of that, he has batted for only 452 innings and 21 times he has not out. Right? Total score he has made is 18,426 and the average 44. Highest score is 200 runs. Similarly, he has played with the 20. Now, okay. Now tell me, where do we get all this information? Let me go. Where do we get all this information? So let me say one example. There is a website called Cricinfo. There is a website called Cricinfo. I think we had a match has happened between uh, where is the series? We have a Champions Trophy. Let's go with the Champions Trophy. Easy to understand. Okay, guys. In the Champions Trophy table, stats, teams. Let's go with the teams. Let's say India. Easy to understand. View more. Let's say T20 ODIs. Let's see. View full list. Let me take an example of Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma. Let's take an example of I'm taking the Rohit Sharma. As I can see the name here, Rohit Sharma. Here, the Rohit Sharma stats here. You can see here. Rohit Gurnath Sharma. He was born on April 30th, 1987, Nagpur, Maharashtra. Right arm off break. 37-year-old. 310 days. 301 days. About to get that. Right. Similarly, he has played for different teams. Team India, Air India, India Blue, India Under 19, Mumbai Cricket Association, Rest of India, West Zone, Mumbai Cricket Association, India Board President, India Green, Deccan Chargers, Mumbai, right? Mumbai, India Red, different company. I mean, different places played, right? And about his personal profile, you talk about the personal profile, right? And remember one point. So, in generally, here you can see the his profile, right? Player Rohit Sharma player profile, right? I want to highlight two, 3 points from this summary. So maybe here, very small passage, you can easily read it, right? Imagine if it is a two, 3 pages passage, it may be difficult to read. Am I right? I want to summarize the details about this person profile. How do you get that? For that, we are going to use NLP, natural language processing. Natural language processing. Similarly, IPL. Similarly, you can see is a test. How many tests has played? How many ODIs, T20s? Right. How many total T20s for? Right. Highest score. Right. He has the different stats. Now, where does this all information? Now, best question coming to our mind. Where where does all this information being stored? Tell me. Where does all this information being stored? Come on. Not only this, even if I go with the Virat Kohli also, we'll get the similar information. Similar information.
Database.
So where does this information being stored? Database.
Database.
Without storing the data being in database, you cannot able to extract the required information. It will be difficult to get the thing, right? So you need to store all the information. Understood? That is what. Even, even, even Sachin Tendulkar profile also being stored in the database only. As we have seen the Rohit Sharma, as we have seen the Virat Kohli, everyone information just, of course, their names are displaying in right side or left side. If you look into here, if you look in this player's information display on the left side, let's say when I click on Shubman Gill, so what is happening? Automatically, it is connected with or it is interacted with the database. From the database, it fetches all the required details about the all the available information about the Shubman Gill. Make sense? Right. Perfect. Right. That is all about the database. Now we understood what is the need of database. Right. We'll go in detail about that. So can we give a try? Facebook. Do you remember when Facebook was introduced or was established? Any idea? Any idea?
2005.
Five.
Yes.
It is four.
Sorry. Okay.
YouTube.
2005. Yes. YouTube is 2005.
YouTube is 2005. Right. Twitter. Now formally Twitter. Nowadays
2008.
six.
Sorry, 6. Okay.
WhatsApp.
Uh, 2010.
2010,
Can guess. Teja, guess.
10, I think. 2010.
12 or 8. 12. No, not 12. It is 8. 8 or 9. 9. Phone Pay.
Okay. 18.
16. 18. Good. Right. Now, what happened? These are the, can you guess? These are the, whatever I've shown, the top five applications. In yesterday's session also, I've seen that Instagram and all. These are the some of the application. These are the some of the application uh, is required, is extracting or generating a lot of data. Am I right? Right. So, for example, if you're using the phone pay, or let's say WhatsApp, the best way to explain about WhatsApp. Can anyone guess, Amit, Arpita, how many times how many times do you check WhatsApp in a day? Mansi, how many times do you check WhatsApp in a day? Vinay, how many times do you check WhatsApp in a day? Not only them, everyone. Jonathan, uh, how many times do you check? Mustafa, how many
4
times
to
do you
5
check?
times.
Only 4 to 5 times in a day. Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, great. So, given you won't believe me, in a day, almost 2 to 2.5 hours, I do spend on WhatsApp. And not only me, most of the people, maybe they could not able to recognize it. Majority of the people across the world, what companies, what observed, I mean, as per one survey, on an average, one person spends 1.5 to 2 hours in a day on WhatsApp. Not only me, on an average across the world. These right. So, um, right. So when you check WhatsApp when you're spending for this, so every time does WhatsApp able to capture when Mansi has logged in last time, what activity has been done, everything being captured, right? Where does this information is going to stored? Where does this information being stored? Again, that information is going to be stored in database only. Again, that information being stored in database only. Am I right? Database only. Now, so why do we need database? Now we understand. So if you look into the applications like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Swiggy, Amazon, WhatsApp, Facebook, as we are living in the digital world, as we are living in the digital world, and the data being created rapidly, the data being created rapidly. As we look into here, so if you look into the in 2010, which is almost 20 gigabyte of data being generating every year annually, right? Annually 20. which is nothing but 2.5 quintile data per day, right? Or I somewhere I've stored also 250. I think some of the slides I will show you one of the examples, similar example I'm creating for one of the. I'll show you. Um, where is that PySpark? Regarding the PySpark big data point of view, I'm storing the data. Same, I'll show you how much data being generated. This is the data being generated every day. Understand? So this much of data being generated every day. In short, 2.5 quintile or 2.5 exabytes of data per day. This much of data being generated as of today, every day. How many zeros you can count it? How many zeros are you can count it? Right now, hmm? Even it is difficult to count also. Right. So you have this much of data, this much of data. So where do you store all the information? Now you can say cloud. Cloud is also one place. Of course, it is a virtual place for us. They also maintain the infrastructure for the cloud also, right? Right. Some company has to maintain the infrastructure. If not required, everyone will buy the right. Why don't I start my own cloud company if I don't maintain the infrastructure? Definitely, we have to maintain the infrastructure. Without infrastructure, it is really difficult. So, as I said that 2025, this was the data being generated. Even I tried to get the latest data also. I could not able to get that. Every other way in internet, you can able to see that this is the data which I can able to find. 2025 is the maximum, which is 175 gigabyte of they're predicting, which is absolutely they're reaching that value. Even it is more also. As rapid explosion of data creates necessity to replace the store and retrieve data effectively. So as we are generating annually 175 gigabyte of data, we need a place to store the data, right? Definitely, right? For that, what we require? We require the database. So why do we need database? So we require the database to store the information. To store the information. As we said, the day by day generating, we need to store, right? Once you store the data, for example, let's say phone pay. Phone pay. Let's take an example of phone pay. Right. Do you use phone? Let's say take about WhatsApp. Do you use WhatsApp every day or weekly once? Every day. That means your latest information need to be updated, right? Where it need to be updated? It need to be updated again in the database. That means day by day, we need to update the new data to the existing information. So to store the information we required, right? To update the information also we require the database. Delete means whichever the data which is unnecessary or unwanted, we need to delete. For example, let's say banks are maintaining the customer information, transaction information for, let's say, last 20 years. From last 20 years. Let's take an example, a bank called HDFC Bank, or let's take a bank called American Express. They maintain the customer transaction information from last 30 years. Do I need really we need any customer information 30 years ago information? Do we really need any customer information which is 30 years 30 years ago information? Do I really need any customer information 20 years ago information? Right? Not required. For example, um, let's take an example about um, do I really need any Facebook activity of 20 years ago? Of course, it was not there earlier. 15 years ago, at least. Really required? Not required. Probably even any person has done a crime, probably they will check last 5 years transaction only or 5 years activity only. Even bank also they do check every 7 years. Do you know how many years of information does bank able to maintain? At this point, bank is able to maintain. Earlier, they used to maintain for 7 years. Now it has been increased to 12 years. Any data being more than 12-year old, the data being deleted from their database, are they kept in archive? It is not so easy to extract that kind of information. Hence, hence, what I would like to say, any information which is not relevant, not the latest one, is not going to be used further, that kind of information need to be deleted to get free space. Are simple to say. Let me tell you about one simple example. How many of you using the what iPhone in this group? Or how many of you using the Android? How many of you using Android? No one? Or no one is the phone also? No one is using the phone? Come on. Hello? Vinayak, are you using the phone? No one is using the phone? Android. Let's say,
Yes, we are using that.
have you ever faced a problem? Storage space. Storage full issue. Full storage issue. Probably majority of that, right?
That
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, what you have done, yeah, two options in front of you. Have you brought more storage or have you deleted unnecessary files or information? Deleting the unnecessary files. Even you can check, you'll try to reduce or you try to remove unnecessary files or unwanted files. Even after that, also, still you could not able to do that. Still after that, also, you could not able to do that. You can buy more storage, whatever it could be, factory reset or whatever it could be. Right. Next, okay. Now you understood the properties of store, update, delete. What is the next option we have? Search. What is the next option we have? Search. Okay. Search means searching the information. In Facebook, you go there, Facebook or LinkedIn, you can search person information. Or let's say, let's talk about example of Google. Let's talk about example of Google. I'm typing something. What is the meaning of search? I'm writing search something. Right? Let's see. When this is the query I given to Google. This is the query I brought. I mean, I browse in Google. Or let me explain one more example in the architectural point of view. Uh, white pad, white pad, chat GPT. Let's open the chat GPT, guys. Mm. Okay, let's see. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, everyone. I'll explain the architecture now. Easy to architecture, how it works. Um, now, can you tell me about data science? Okay, sure. Now, see, here I was the question, right? Can you tell me about data science? That means I've given the some input prompt. I given the some input prompt. Agree with me? Let me open that. So this is the input prompt. Listen carefully. Where we have given the input prompt in ChatGPT, we are talking about the ChatGPT architecture, right? In ChatGPT, we are given the input prompt, right? That means, can I say it is simple to the input? Now, can you tell me about data science? So automatically given some key components of data science, such as like a data collection, data cleaning, processing, explore data analysis, something about machine learning, big data, some applications of database, some skills required. It has given some information. From where does ChatGPT can able to get this information? What is happening here in this case? It will connect with the database, the background, right? The backend part. In the backend, there are the two kind of database will be there. Simple to say, vector database. Other name of vector database also called custom database. Right? Right? So it is the input. The input directly will go to the backend. In the backend, there are things called vector or custom DB. DB means database. Okay, DB means database. From the custom database, it will search in the custom database, and then it will extract some information, it beautifying by using LLMs, by using the beautifying the by using the LLMs, whatever the LLM models we have. From there, it will generate the output. Generate the output. It will generate the relevant output. What LLM does in the vector database, there is a lot kind of information will be available, right? Lot of pre-trained information, GPT. This vector is a GPT. GPT means generative pre-trained transformer. Already explained this point. Pre-trained transformer. What it is happening here in this case? This is a pre-trained transformer. Lot of information, huge information is available, right? So it will show you all the content, right? What LLM does is here, once it extract that, it will pass all the information, relevant information to the all the information to LLM. LLM extract only the relevant information. Filtering, kind of filter. Simple LLM does kind of filter. Beautifying, simple to say. And then that information will be displayed as a output. That is what it is happening here. So simple here, what I mean to say, in the backend, it is searching the information regarding searching information related to input, whatever the input we are given, that is tell me about data science. That is all about search. Understood? That is all about the search. Or even there is other option I will give you. Other option I will tell you. Example, let me tell you about that. These are all the daily life examples only. I'm not not gathering from anywhere. Maybe you can tell you, let me example, let me go to the YouTube. Let's say Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli best innings. See, let's say automatically what happened in YouTube. YouTube, that means we are storing a lot of data, right? It is storing what kind of information storing? Video, audio, what else? Text, images, community. It stores all kind of information, right? It stores the all kind of information such as like your text data stores, image data stores, it stores the audio, video kind of multiple information it stores. But the question is, when I said that Virat Kohli top notch innings, let's say when I said the top notch, right? So automatically, which has given the best innings, whatever the best innings, right? Whatever. So what is happening? This is the question, this is the input. We are giving here. See the search button also. When you search here, automatically it will give the relevant content. It will give the relevant content. Whatever the relevant content we have, it will give the relevant content. Make sense? That is all about the search. Now, so to store the data or to update the data, delete the data, or for searching point of view, what we require? We require the database. Now, are you clear why do we need database? Still any questions or any confusions, guys? Still any questions, any confusions? Perfect. No questions? So, sir, you said database you said for storing purpose, updating purpose, search purpose, delete. So, what do you mean by definition? What is the definition of database? Valid question, right? Valid question, right? What is the definition of data? As per the Wikipedia, as per the Wikipedia. So database is organized collection of data generally stored and accessed electronically from a computer system. So collection of data which is organized in a proper format, proper order it is stored, which is accessed and electronically from a computer. So simple to say, it is where database are more complex. They're often developed using the formal design and more. So generally, it is a complex, the format storing and everything. Simple terms, it is a collection of data, organized data, organized data, and stored and accessed electronically. Electronically means not physically. Physically means you go and get there, you go and search. For example, let me ask you one question. Sir, no SQL database I will cover later. It will come, sir. Don't worry. I'll explain. So let me explain. Suppose in your cupboard, in your home, imagine a scenario in your home. Um, how many shirts do you have, Darshan? Amit, how many shirts you have? Does anyone have more than 40 shirts? 30 shirts? Come on, come on. No one? No one? Arey, come on. Let me ask it to the girls. How many saris you have? Probably 20, 30, 40. Maybe girls could not have who are married women. Probably they would have 30, 40 saris. Now, if they want to pick one pink border with yellow color sari, what they need to do? Electronically, is it possible to get? They go and manually get the dress from their cupboard. But here in a database, we are not need to go anywhere. From where is the Facebook head office? Where is the Instagram head office? But we are sitting in a room or we are standing in front of, let's say, river. We are accessing the Instagram. We are accessing the Instagram. Let's say, let me tell you about one more example. You are working for an organization called, let's say, ABC company. Okay. So ABC company, you are working as a data scientist in ABC company. You need to work a project. For that you require data. You go on, is it really required to go and sit in ABC office, head office, where database is there? Not required. You can sit anywhere in the world, you can access the data, right? Where does data being stored? Data being stored in database. Probably it could be a cloud database, MongoDB, normal database, any database it could be. What are the different database we'll discuss now. We have not reached that point yet. We are just discussing the database. So electronically, just by writing some code, by just accessing the server, you can able to get the required data. If someone asks you, hey Mr. Hey Mr. John, can you tell me what is the definition of database? You can simply say that it is a collection of data, the data being stored organized, the data being stored organized in a proper format, and that data can be accessed, stored and accessed electronically, right? The data can be stored and accessed electronically, right? So now, why do we need database? That is a valid question. That is what we are discussing. Database can store very large number of records efficiently. Here, if you look into this example, here how many systems being connected to database? One system, two system, three systems, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, maybe probably more also. So 9 systems. So you may ask a question: is only 9 system being connected to database? Can't we connect more than nine systems? Computers? Of course you can, but I cannot show you hundreds of systems, right? I just show an example of. So database can store a very large number of records efficiently. Here the question coming to our mind, what do you mean by very large number? Can I say 500 records, 500 rows is a large number? Can I say 5,000 rows is a large number? Can I say 50,000 rows is a large number? Can I say 5 lakh rows is a large number? Can I say 50 lakh record is a large number? 5 million. Can I say 500 million is a large number? Can I say 1 billion record is a large number? Can I say 1 trillion record is a large number? There is no definition of large number. Now, next question coming to our mind. If there is no definition of large number, right? How many records does database can able to support? How many record does database can able to support? If you look into MS Excel, is anyone have remember? Anyone can guess how many number of records does Excel can able to store? Can anyone guess how many records does Excel can able to store?
1 million.
1 million. See here, exactly 1048576. 1 million is 10 lakh record. 10 lakh for 48,576 records. Right? What if your data B is more than 1 lakh? Sorry, 10 lakhs. What if your data is where does the next record 10 lakh 48,577 record, where does it being stored? Does Excel can able to support this? Excel will not support this. Am I right? Excel cannot support this. Am I right? So that means Excel can able to store up to 1 million records. Up to 1 million records. One million. Am I right? What is the next option? You go with the database. You need to store the data in database. The database can store 10 million records. It can store 1 billion records. It can store 10 billion records also, or 10 trillion records also. Now the question coming, if you require 10 trillion, what you require as the data being increased, as volume of data being increased, billions, millions, and trillions, you required a place to store, right? You required place to be stored. For example, let me give a simple example. Generally, what happens, your data being stored in RAM, random access memory, right? RAM can able to handle up to 4 GB. Let's say simple to say example. Whatever the data being fetched or stored can able to store, or hard disk, simple to say. Simple to say, easy to understand. Hard disk. Probably heard about hard disk. 2 GB, 2 TB hard disk, 3 TB hard disk. Let's say simple to say hard disk. Easy to understand. Let's say your hard disk is, imagine your hard disk is 2 TB, guys. Is everyone know about the hard disk? Is everyone know about the hard disk? Yes or no? Is everyone know about the hard disk? Come on, is everyone know about the hard disk?
Yeah.
No one?
Yes, yes.
Yes, right. Let's imagine your hard disk size is 2 TB, terabyte. Now tell me how much maximum data you can able to store, the size of the data? 2 TB only, right? Suppose your volume of data is size of data is 6 TB. Do you think you can able to fit 6 TB data into 2 TB hard disk? Is it possible? Not possible. What you require, if you want to store 6 TB of data, you need to extend another 4 GB, 4 TB, sorry. Am I right? Agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Even imagine, that means similarly, as size of the data increases, or volume of data increases, your hard disk size also need to be increased. So for that, what we required, so 2 TB hard disk cost is, let's say, 500 rupees in Indian rupees, 500 rupees. Simple to say. 6 TB will go around 1500 TB, right? 1500 rupees, right? As volume of data increases, your expenditure or cost of infrastructure is also increasing, right? Agree?
Yes.
So that is the reason your volume of data increases, your cost also, infrastructure cost also will increase. Hence, people are preferring to use the cloud. Hence, people are preferring to use the cloud database. Why people are preferring the cloud database? You can store whatever the volume of data at free of cost. No need to pay. You can store 1 billion records, you can store 10 billion records, you can store 10 trillion. But of course, minimum charges you need to pay, minimum payment, let's say minimum basic plan you need to pay, basic. But what they will charge you, okay, boss, I don't charge anything. I'm charging minimum price only for basic plan, let's say 500 rupees for 10 trillion also. But if you want to extract or if you want to get some relevant information, you want to see some relevant information, per transaction you need to pay. Need to pay per transaction, per record. How many records you extracted? Each record wise you need to pay. That's how the cloud model works. Understood? That's how the cloud model works. So that is the reason people are moving towards. So for infrastructure you need to maintain, for the cost you need to pay. Someone need to look into that. Something happen, short circuit happen, it will got gone everything, right? Why you need to take the tension? No need to bear all these things. Just put all your data into the cloud and then extract wherever you require. Just pay per use. Pay as per your use. Hmm? Understood? Now, are you clear about this point? Very large number of records efficiently and all. Yes, Srini, go. Srini, go ahead. Go with the question. Let's ask. Okay, now web interface to data. I mean, web interface to data means you can go to the website, you can easily get the information wherever you can see it. So whatever the data being stored in database, you can very quick and easily find the relevant information. For example, ChatGPT, it has stored huge volume of data, right? As it is a pre-trained model, generative pre-trained model, do you know how much water being consumed for every day for ChatGPT? Because end of the day, also store the data in databases only, right? Cloud means people think that oh, there is no database. The people call data centers. Nowadays, people call as a data centers. That means they're being stored the data. Companies, industries, industry is spending too much of data on data centers. Am I right? Now, for this data center, they need to, always it get heat. So to cool down, they require ACs. For that, 24/7, they need to run the ACs, huge volume of data. For that, you need to put the waters, coolers and all. They consume. Let me ask a question to ChatGPT itself. ChatGPT itself. How much water being consumed every day by ChatGPT? See here, what I said here. The water consumption of AI models like ChatGPT primarily comes from the cooling system used in the data centers. That's what I said, right? To cool. These data centers require significant amount of water to prevent servers from overheating. Understood? The estimated C 500 milliliters, million liters, roughly 16-ounce bottles of water every right 20 to 50 user prompts. So how many prompts is coming every day? ChatGPT, God knows, right? Right. So it is required use thing, right? Understood? Right. And you can easily add the new data. You can easily add the new data. New data, and you can edit the updated. Update means update the existing information. Data change on regular basis. As you're updating data day by day, minute by minute, data also changes regularly. Multiple people, as I said, multiple people can make changes to the simultaneously access the database, can also make the changes to the data. Share huge data set among many people. Many people can able to access one data set at a time with the help of GitHub or anything like this. Now, any questions on this? Any doubts on this slide? Any questions? Any doubts on this point? Mm. Okay. Now, some properties of the data. What is the second point? Web interface. You mean to say web interface to data? Is it the point? Web interface to the data means so it is a platform like ChatGPT we are accessing, right? Data. You can easily access to database. For example, SharePoint, SharePoint location, automatically web interface in Google Chrome or anywhere you can access to the particular point. For example, I am being stored in the OneDrive. This is my OneDrive. Let's say this is my OneDrive, right? This is my OneDrive. Can you see here? If I go to the presentations, if I go to the text classification, this is the location I given users. So OneDrive is stored in a laptop just for setup purpose. Am I right? OneDrive is another cloud database which been created by Microsoft. Am I right? It's been created by Microsoft. So setup it has set up in your local system, but data is not being stored in your local system. It is storing in the cloud only, OneDrive, right? So it is a web interface. We can easily I created in the web interface. I created the different folders. I created the I created the data in the OneDrive. I created the data. The desktop. It is a kind of another system, virtual system, where desktop and everything being there. I have a data. I create one folder called data. Under the data folder, it is possible. It is likely to have multiple folders inside of it. Likely to have multiple folders inside of it. Am I right? So that is what this is a web interface. Whenever you want to access a particular file, you want to see the information in the database, you can easily access it. This is what we have done. This is a web one interface, right? Web interface only, right? That's what it means here. Right. Now, now some properties of good database. Some of them are scalability. And the four important properties of database, such as scalability, elasticity, security governance, and data integrity. Right? Let's understand one of the first important point called scalability. What do you mean by scalable? What do you mean by scalability? Any idea? What is the general meaning of scalability? What is general meaning of scalability? Imagine a scenario. Hmm, Imagine a scenario. 100 members are accessing website. Probably sometimes you heard about that. Amazon, Flipkart got crashed or server down. Have you ever heard about these kind of things? Have you ever heard about this kind of thing? WhatsApp got crashed. Why WhatsApp got crashed? The reason behind, let's say, what DevOps team does, I'll give easy with an example so that you can easily understand. So while designing, I created the one database, one application. Let's say KSR AI Entry Hub, AI Hub, KSR AI Hub, which one showed in the last class, right? One of the class I show you. Now let's say it has been while deploying the model into the server or into the cloud. Let's an example. We design 100 members. I'm just giving an example, guys. 100 members maximum. 100 people can able to access the website at a time. Okay, this AI entry hub, 100 members can able to access at a time. Let's say I'm showing the example. Okay, just let's say this is the AI hub entry hub. This is the KSR Datavision AI hub. So this website you can play, and I mean at a time you 100 members can able to take the interview. Okay, easy to understand, right? Now 100 members can able to take parallel. I mean to say what 100 I mean parallelly 100 different people. There is no guarantee everyone can able to from sit in the same place or different place, doesn't matter, right? Parallel 100 people can able to access the means interview prospect. Website thousands of people can able to see, but interview can able to take maximum 100 members. I'm just giving an example. What if 200 what if 200 members have tried parallelly? What if 200 people have tried parallelly? What will happen? What will happen? What will happen?
It's going to crash.
It is going to be crashed. What scalability does, it has the ability, database has the ability to increase this number. So probably maybe initially I thought no one will watch my videos pro interview, 100 would be fine. Now I got some fame and everything. Now I can increase the scalability people, scalable to 10,000 people. Maybe I can increase to 1 lakh, I can increase to 10 lakhs like that. This is increasing the capacity from one range to another range is called scalability. Access point of view, accessibility point of view. Understood the meaning? Is it clear? Is it clear? Next one, elasticity. Elasticity means scalability in terms of accessing the people. What elasticity does, it increase elasticity means increase in the size or volume of the data to store the information. Don't get confused. Scalability means access point of view. Access from who is accessing, user point of view, to access the or get the relevant information from the database. What elasticity? Let's say your database is size is, let's say 2 GB, 2 TB. Once storage get full, you need to extend the size or volume of the data, extend the size of the database from 2 TB to 5 TB or 10 TB or 15 TB. That is elasticity. How much maximum volume of data you can store in your database? For example, let me give one example. Everyone uses a laptop, right? Laptop. My computer. Sorry, I don't know where to see. Huh? No. I want to see the specifications of the laptop. Where I will see, I could not able to remember. Where? Uh, let's see. Oh, show more. 1 second. Property. See, very good. See here, the device name is the 12th generation. What is the installed RAM? 16 GB, right? Pen and touch, everything is okay. Is now let me ask a question. Does this RAM, let's say, where 16 GB, installed RAM is 16 GB. Does it support extended RAM to make your process much better? It will support another 16 GB, maybe another 40 GB, maybe another 82 GB, 100 GB. Maximum how much? There could be a maximum how much? There could be a 200 GB, 300 GB, 1 TB. There should be some limit, right? Depends on your processor. Depends on processor. It is 2.3 gigahertz. Depends on our processor. It can support the extended RAM. Am I right? What if still you want more? Still you want more? You may need to change the processor. That means that is what the meaning of elasticity. It is ability you can increase whatever the much volume depends on your given database. Make sense? Understood, guys? Make sense? Understood? Now, third one is security and governance. Security. So, am I able to, can I extract, let's say, Aadhaar card, like SSN number, social security number in US? Aadhaar card. Can I get all the details about the Mr. Uh, Manasi? Sorry, Miss Manasi, right? I want to get all the information about Jay Krishna. I want to get all the information about John, family details about the John. Difficult, right? So this database should have a good security. For example, let's say Rami Reddy. Let's example Rami Reddy. I added the details of, if I able to access the Rami Reddy details, added is interest towards terrorism. What will happen? He will be flagged, right? Am I able to modify his details? Am I able to access his own details? Definitely no. He only can able to access. For example, DZ locker. Am I able to access other people's information? No. Only I can modify up to certain information only. Security concern, governing, managing all these things. Integrity means whatever the data being stored in the same order, proper order. For example, the data being stored today and data being stored in the database after 1 month, it should be the same order. Same order means, for example, today age is storing as a number format, tomorrow it cannot be character string format. Right? That is what the meaning of data integrity. Right? Now, so types of database and all we will discuss in tomorrow class. It may take another 1 hour time. So I think Teja, you asked me a question, right? What is a NoSQL database and all? I will clarify that in tomorrow date question tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Yes, go ahead, please with the questions. Pause the recording.